No matter that Mbappe scored a hat trick in a World Cup final, no matter that Haaland put away more than 50 goals in a perfect season, no matter that Cristiano Ronaldo shattered every record imaginable. Because when football looks to the very top, there's only one man who's still up there, completely alone: Lionel Andres Messi. For years they talked about rivalries, chases, endless debates. But the truth was always the same. While everyone tried to catch him, Messi was already too far away. Today, at 38, with time etched into his face and history weighing on his back, Messi still steps onto a pitch as if it were a gift. Every match feels different. Every touch feels like a memory happening in real time. Because we know we're watching the final chapters of the greatest footballer who ever lived. And that's why, before the end arrives, it's time to revisit the road that turned him into an absolute legend. Today we're going to go through Lionel Messi's 8 Ballon d'Ors. Not as simple awards, but as chapters of an unrepeatable story. The story of the player who changed football forever. 2009, the first Ballon d'Or, the beginning of a dynasty. The 2008 to 2009 season wasn't just another one. It was the exact point where everything changed. Messi was 21 and had just been handed Barcelona's heaviest jersey, the number 10. The same one Ronaldinho had worn. The idol, the magician, the symbol who brought joy back to the Camp Nou. The question was inevitable. Was Messi ready to carry that legacy? Then Pep Guardiola arrived in his first season as head coach of the first team. A young manager with revolutionary ideas who bet everything on a short, quiet kid, almost shy off the pitch, but completely unstoppable when the ball touched his left foot. That Barcelona began playing a kind of football the world wasn't used to seeing: possession, pressure, speed, precision. And at the center of it all was Messi. Trophies started to fall, one after another: La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and finally, the Champions League. The final was in Rome: Barcelona against Manchester United, Guardiola against Ferguson, and above all, Messi against Cristiano Ronaldo. The world expected a physical, direct duel, but Messi decided to win from the air. Minute 70, Xavi looks up and swings in the cross. And the impossible happens. Messi, the shortest man on the pitch, rises among defenders far taller and connects with a perfect looping header, unreachable for Van der Sar. The ball goes in, the stadium erupts, and football is left speechless. That goal wasn't just the 2-0 in a final. It was a message, the definitive warning that the future had already arrived. Barcelona lifted the big-eared trophy and completed the historic treble: League, Cup, and Champions. Messi finished the year with 38 goals, impossible assists, and inevitable performances. And when the Ballon d'Or gala arrived, there was no debate. At 21, Messi lifted his first, ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo and Xavi Hernandez. It wasn't just recognition, it was the official birth of an era. 2010, the second Ballon d'Or, the absolute present. In 2010, it looked like there was a clear owner, and his name wasn't Lionel Messi. The world was celebrating Spain, world champions in South Africa. Xavi, the brain. Iniesta, the hero of the final. For many, the Ballon d'Or had to go to one of them. But while the spotlight was on the World Cup, Messi kept doing what he did, quietly. The 2009 to 2010 season with Barcelona was another demonstration of dominance. He finished as La Liga's top scorer with 34 goals without being a classic number 9. He didn't live in the box, and still, nobody scored more. Every weekend was the same scene. Messi received the ball, took off, cut inside, and the stadium knew what was coming. The opponents did too, and still, nobody could stop him. It wasn't just how many goals he scored, it was how he scored them. Impossible plays. Entire defenses torn apart, a style so natural, it felt like another sport. At the gala, everything pointed to a Spaniard. Even Messi seemed to accept it. But when the presenter said, "Lionel Messi," the world fell silent. Messi was surprised, smiled in disbelief, and walked up to the stage almost as if asking permission. "I didn't expect to win it today, it's a surprise for me," he said. At 22, Messi lifted his second Ballon d'Or in a row, against logic, against the forecast. And with that award, it was clear. He was no longer the heir, no longer the promise. He was the absolute present of world football. 2011, the third Ballon d'Or. Messi becomes the system. The 2010 to 2011 season took football to a level many thought was impossible. Guardiola's Barcelona was no longer just a great team. It was a work of art. Xavi set the tempo, Iniesta broke lines, Busquets balanced everything. And at the center of the universe was Messi. That year, Messi stopped being only a goal scorer. He became the system. He dropped deep to create, sped up the game, assisted, scored. Everything went through him. The Champions League set up the duel the planet wanted: Barcelona versus Real Madrid, Guardiola versus Mourinho, Messi versus Cristiano. The first leg at the Bernabeu was a stadium loaded with hostility, 90,000 people waiting to see him fall. And then Messi appeared, first with a goal inside the box, and then with something eternal. He took the ball near midfield, left Marcelo and Sergio Ramos behind like shadows, surged forward without anyone being able to touch him, and finished past Casillas with an insulting calm. The Bernabeu went silent. It wasn't just a goal. It was a masterpiece. Barcelona reached the final, and the opponent was Manchester United again. Wembley, the temple of football. And once again, when the match demanded something different, Messi answered. Minute 54. He receives at the edge of the box from Iniesta, sets up the left foot, and fires a dry, powerful, unstoppable shot. Goal. That strike didn't just send Barca toward another Champions League. It confirmed United had no answers, that Barca were the best team in the world, and that Messi was the best player on the planet. That season, he crossed the 50-goal mark, playing deeper and being involved more than ever. And when the 2011 Ballon d'Or arrived, there was no debate. Messi, Cristiano, and Xavi were finalists, but the award had an owner. Messi lifted his third straight at just 23. And in that moment, it was clear. Messi was no longer competing with players. He was competing with history. 2012, the fourth Ballon d'Or, 91 goals, and the ceiling of history. The 2011 to 2012 season wasn't perfect, and that's what makes it even more incredible. Real Madrid won the league with 100 points. In the Champions League, Barca fell to Chelsea on a tragic night, and Messi missed a penalty that could have changed everything. Cameras showed him with his head down. The world talked about pressure, about wear and tear, about maybe the ceiling being close. But while everyone looked at the lost trophies, Messi was about to do something nobody had ever done. Goal after goal, hat trick after hat trick, 4-goal games, left foot, right foot, headers, free kicks. Every weekend he broke a new mark. Every match felt like an exaggeration. And when 2012 ended, the number was absurd: 91 official goals in a single year. Messi destroyed Gerd Muller's historic record, a record that had stood for more than 40 years. And he didn't just score, he assisted, he built, he made everyone around him better. More than 20 assists accompanied that monstrous figure. When the 2012 Ballon d'Or arrived, there was no debate. Messi won by a crushing margin, more than 40% of the vote, and lifted his fourth consecutive Ballon d'Or, 4 in a row, something nobody had done. That award wasn't just another one, it was a coronation. Messi had broken through the ceiling of history. 2013 to 2014, the fall, injuries, blows, and the saddest image. After the impossible came the wear. 2013 marked an unknown beginning. The body started to say, enough. Muscle injuries, hamstrings, half games. And when Messi wasn't at 100%, Barcelona suffered too. In Europe, the blow was brutal. Bayern crushed Barca 7-0 on aggregate. Messi played limited, far from his best. And meanwhile, Cristiano was flying. The 2013 Ballon d'Or Gala was a turning point. Cristiano lifted the trophy. For the first time in years, Messi watched from below. The press was ruthless. End of a cycle. Messi isn't the same. A new era has begun. And 2014 brought an even deeper pain: the World Cup in Brazil. Messi carried Argentina, took the team to the final, led in silence. But at the Maracanã, the dream broke. Germany scored in extra time, and Argentina was left without the cup. Messi, walking alone with a lost look, became one of the saddest images in modern football. The best player of the World Cup award didn't close any wound. The cup was the only thing that mattered, and it slipped away. That same year, Cristiano won another Ballon d'Or, backed by the Champions League with Real Madrid. The balance seemed to tilt. Many believed the reign was over, but that was the mistake. 2015, the fifth Ballon d'Or, the return of the king. Messi didn't answer with speeches. He answered in silence, working, adapting. And he came back. But he didn't come back the same. He came back better. The 2014 to 2015 season showed a Messi who was more mature, smarter, less obsessed with scoring, and yet more lethal than ever. He no longer needed to score every time. Now he made everyone play. At his side were two perfect partners, Neymar, pure imbalance, and Luis Suarez, fangs, sacrifice, and hunger for goals. MSN wasn't a trio, it was a nightmare. Messi dropped a few yards deeper, started to conduct, to read, to choose when to, accelerate, and when to kill. Barcelona became a machine again. One that didn't just win, it crushed. The trophies arrived: La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and another Champions League. The Copa final left an eternal image. Messi took off from midfield, beat defenders one by one, and finished with an impossible left-foot strike. But the worldwide moment came in the Champions League semi-final against Bayern. Guardiola returned to the Camp Nou as an opponent, and Messi decided to remind everyone who was in charge. First, a dry left-foot shot impossible for Neuer, and then the humiliation. A feint that left Boateng glued to the grass, and a soft, almost cruel chip over Neuer's desperate charge. That move went viral in seconds. It wasn't just a goal, it was a declaration. Barca reached the final and beat Juventus, another treble. Messi finished with 58 goals and 27 assists. And when the 2015 Ballon d'Or arrived, there was no debate. Messi lifted his fifth. It wasn't just reclaiming the throne, it was proving that even after falling, he was still a step above everyone. The sixth Ballon d'Or, the best even in the fall. 2019 seemed written for others. Modric had broken the hegemony. Van Dijk had led Liverpool to the European title. Cristiano kept piling up goals and trophies. Many believed Messi's era was already behind him, but Messi was playing a different game. Barcelona's 2018 to 2019 season was irregular and fragile. The team depended on him more than ever, and Messi responded by carrying everything. La Liga top scorer with 36, top assister with 17, absolute leader. In the Champions League, Barca reached the semi-finals. And then came Anfield. After the 3-0 at the Camp Nou, it felt done. But in England, everything collapsed. Liverpool came back, and Barcelona fell apart. Messi walked the grass with a lost look. He had done everything, and it wasn't enough. Many thought that defeat sentenced him. But even with that wound, his numbers were overwhelming. Top scorer in the Champions League with 12. And he left moments that couldn't be erased, like that perfect free kick against Liverpool at the Camp Nou, buried in the top corner. At the 2019 Ballon d'Or, the debate was open, but history leaned the same way again. Lionel Messi, sixth Ballon d'Or. He definitively surpassed Cristiano, but above all, he surpassed the need to compare himself to anyone. That award was the recognition of excellence sustained even in defeat. Messi didn't need to win every time to be the best. He was competing against time. 2021, the seventh Ballon d'Or, redemption with Argentina. For years there was a wound that wouldn't close. The Argentina national team. Lost finals, broken dreams, tears. The 2014 World Cup. Two Copa America finals lost to Chile. The image of Messi crying was burned in memory. So, when 2021 arrived, football seemed to owe him a revenge. The Copa America was played in the most hostile place possible, Brazil. Nothing was easy. Nothing was guaranteed. But Messi decided to play the tournament of his life. It wasn't just talent, it was commitment, sacrifice, leadership. He was top scorer, top assister, and best player of the tournament. We saw him drop back to defend. We saw him shout. We saw him push his teammates like never before. He was no longer only the genius, he was the total captain. The final was Argentina versus Brazil at the Maracanã. The match was rough, tense, tight, until Di Maria scored the eternal goal. And when the final whistle blew, time stopped. Messi dropped to his knees, cried, and embraced his teammates. It wasn't just a Copa America, it was the end of a nightmare. Argentina champions in Brazil. At the Maracanã. Pure liberation. That same year, the 2021 Ballon d'Or arrived with debate. Lewandowski with monstrous numbers, Jorginho with titles. But Messi represented something bigger, and he lifted his seventh Ballon d'Or. That trophy was different. It wasn't just for him. It was for Argentina, for those who suffered with him, for those who defended him, for those who saw him cry, and now saw him smile. It was justice. It was redemption. The wound was closed. 2022 to 2023, the eighth Ballon d'Or, the perfect ending in Qatar. 2022 wasn't just another year, it was the last chance. Messi arrived at the World Cup in Qatar at 35, with a career full of records and Ballon d'Ors, but with a dream still calling him, the World Cup. And the debut was a brutal blow, a loss to Saudi Arabia. The world exploded. It's over, it's the end. He won't be able to. But that shock awakened something else. Against Mexico, Messi smashed a dry left foot shot from outside the box. It wasn't just another goal. It meant air, life, hope. From that moment on, Messi was the heart of the World Cup. Against Australia, he appeared with a subtle finish. Against the Netherlands, in a match loaded with tension, he delivered an impossible assist and scored his penalty. Against Croatia in the semifinals, it was a work of art. A penalty goal and a historic assist to Julian Alvarez, leaving Gvardiol sprawled. Messi was everywhere, scoring, assisting, leading. And then came the final, Argentina versus France. Messi versus Mbappé, a match of madness. Messi opened the scoring, Argentina dominated. It looked finished, but Mbappé refused to surrender. He equalized, and he did it again. In extra time, when the body no longer responded, Messi appeared again. Goal, the last one, the decisive one. The captain pushing to the end. Penalties decided everything. And when Montiel converted the last one, the world stopped. Messi lifted the World Cup. The missing image, the final frame, the perfect closure. Messi became the first player to score in the group stage, the round of 16, the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the final of a single World Cup. He was named the best player of the tournament and finished Qatar as the complete footballer. After that, there were no questions left. When the 2023 Ballon d'Or gala arrived, there was no debate, no discussion, no surprise. Messi lifted his 8th Ballon d'Or. 8. 3 more than anyone else. A distance that no longer allows conversation. That trophy wasn't just another award. It was the final point of the greatest career football has ever seen. The definitive seal. The confirmation that the story was already written. The debate ended. Comparisons died. The rivalry went out. Because while many were great, only one was eternal. Lionel Andres Messi, 8 Ballon d'Ors, a World Cup. An entire era marked by his name. Messi wasn't only the best, he was more than the best. And when the day of goodbye arrives, football will know it witnessed something unrepeatable. Because there are many legends. But Messi, there was only one. If you love football and lived through this era, leave your like, subscribe to Barca Leyendas, and turn on the bell. Because as long as someone remembers his magic, Messi's legacy will never die.